Hi everyone, this is Joey with Stamping with Joey. I am bringing you today this beautiful card made with the Perfectly Plaid stamp set along with the Christmas tree punch and the plaid paper that we have for sale right now. So I am going to be making this card for you today. We also have here the gold embellishments that we're going to be using, as well as gold foil paper. And so I'm going to make that with you today, and stay tuned. Here we go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to need a card base of cherry cobbler, and our cherry cobbler is at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So that is going to be our very bottom piece. Now, before we assemble that, I have 3 other pieces that are going to go on top of the card base, and that is the gold foil. That is going to be cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Then I have our plaid piece that is going to be cut at 3 1/4 by 5. And then I have our whisper white last that's going to go on the very top of the plaid, because we're going to punch the Christmas trees right here. And the whisper white is cut at 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. So before we glue any of this or put any of it down on top of the cherry cobbler, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to punch the whisper white cardstock with our Christmas tree punch. And I'm just going to eyeball this because it's kind of what I did before. So I'm just eyeballing it and kind of lining up the very edge. Yep, right there. So there's one, and I'm holding on to these white Christmas trees because I feel like I will use those again with another card. Sorry, I know that I'm out of frame right there. There we go. There's the other one. All right, so that's what I have for my 2 Christmas trees. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to adhere it on top of my my plaid sheet right here. So I'm going to grab my glue, and I'm going to use a Tombow adhesive just so it's quick and it dries pretty instantly, obviously. Okay. So once I get this down, then I am going to, sorry, I didn't mean to bump the camera. Then I am going to adhere, and I want to line up the corners as best as I can, because if I line it up here and here as straight as I can, that'll give me a pretty straight line all the way around, as you can see. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this onto my gold foil. Okay, so I'm going to take bottom of that, and I do love this. I love this pattern. I just really wanted to see the plaid come through on this side. That seems to be the popular side right now anyways, but the other side is wonderful. It's just would be good for another card. So anyways, I'm gonna line it up again. I'm gonna check my corners, kind of check and make sure that I've got everything kind of lined up even on both sides. Get my finger out of the way so I'm not gluing my finger down. We've all been there. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to, oh, I should have stamped my ho ho ho. That's okay, I can still do that. So I'm gonna stamp my ho 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 down here at the bottom. And I'm also going to stamp on another piece of paper, and this is the shaded spruce, which I actually didn't pull out for you earlier, but you will need a piece of scrap shaded spruce. And then you're going to stamp this Christmas tree onto the shaded spruce with a shaded spruce ink color. And I honestly think that the if you didn't have shaded spruce, I think that you could do pretty well with the Tranquil Tide. It wouldn't go perfectly with the plaid paper, but I still think that it would work. Okay, so now I'm just gonna turn this over, and I'm gonna pick up my stamp kind of crooked, so that way I'm not looking at the edges of the stamp. And I'm going to move this to the side. I'm gonna go ahead and stamp my Christmas tree. Get it nice and wet, and oh yeah, I have room to do a couple more on here because this is a nice big piece of paper and I'm not gonna waste it. Okay, there we go. And I'm gonna go ahead and punch this out. Line it up pretty well. I like to squeeze my my punch a little bit so it makes it kind of tight around the edges of the paper where I'm trying to make sure that it stays. And then while I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to stamp my ho 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 because I don't want to go any further with adhering any of my stamps until I've done that. And so I'm gonna use my cherry cobbler ink to go along with this. I still have my old cherry cobbler box or ink pad. Hopefully I'll be getting a new one here soon of that one, but I still had so much ink in my cherry cobbler. I didn't want to waste it. Of course I could have two and that wouldn't be a problem either. I'm sure with doing classes and things like that, it would not go to waste. So I'm gonna line up my ho 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 right down here at the bottom, and I'm just going to stamp it right there on the edge. There we go. And now I'm ready to adhere this piece onto my top of my cardstock right here. And then I'm gonna use some stamping dimensionals to put that there. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my inside of my card. So I will put this to the side. Now on the inside of my card, I am going to use my Christmas tree again, and I'm gonna stamp it right here along the corner. But I'm going to, before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp my my greeting on the inside. Okay, grab my block out. Oh, it looks like I've used all my big blocks. So let me see here. I'm going to trade this one out really quickly. Nope, don't want to use that one. All right, bringing out the big guys. That's okay. I can do that. All right, so I'm going to use, on the inside of this one, I'm going to use the cherry cobbler again. As you can see, I've done that before. Because when you stamp with a red dye, it does stain your stamps. But that's okay when you clean them off and use your Stampin' Scrub. It does take off all of the ink. It won't actually leave it on there, so it won't affect the next time you stamp on another for another card. So just in case you're worried about that, and here I actually need to try to line this up. All right, okay, so that should do that. Wonderful. All right, now I'm going to take my green, my shaded spruce Christmas tree, and I'm going to stamp it on the very corner on the inside. I just think this card set, this whole stamp set and the whole bundle itself is absolutely adorable. I know Plaid is like the in thing right now. Sorry, my hands are in the way. But so I think that everybody who gets this card is going to be loving it just because it is so beautiful. And plaid is the in thing right now, which I think is awesome. I know Stampin' Up, they try to keep, you know, up with whatever is on trend. So I think that goes so well. I'm having a really hard time seeing tonight. As you can tell, my lighting is not good. This is my first video, and I'm sure many of you can tell, but I'm excited to go ahead and do my first video, and this being my first card. All right, so I'm gonna line it up in the center, and this time I'm gonna look down at the bottom corners because it's harder to see the other corners at the top. And yep, it's pretty even right there. All right, so there's our greeting on the inside. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and adhere the top, and then I will put the dimensionals on and put my Christmas tree on. So I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, there we go. All right, now I'm going to use my Stampin' Dimensionals to put a few on the back of this Christmas tree. I'm going to put one up here, and here, and I know I'm going crazy with them, but they are pretty cheap, so I'm going to do another one right here. And then I'm just going to kind of use my nail to pull off the top of these sticker backs. Okay, so now that I have my Christmas tree ready to go, I'm gonna place it in the center. Now you could go directly in the center, you could go up, you could go down. I'm gonna put mine right in the middle, kind of like I did before, and that's okay. And now I am going to use these beautiful gold embellishments to place onto my card. Now my previous card that I had, I used a few on my Christmas tree, which I'm gonna do, and then here and here. So that's my plan for this one as well. So I'll put one here and here. Oh, maybe it's stuck to my hand. This is funny. Anywho, I do have the little tool that can help me with this, but I really didn't think that these would be that difficult. Okay, I'm just gonna use this, put this one to the side for right now because it's really not wanting to work for me. Let me see if I can use my little, I really wasn't wanting to get this guy out because I don't know how great of a job I would do with this. Okay, here we go. Okay. So this little guy, so the little ones are really hard to get on, but that's because I'm all thumbs tonight. There we go. Yay! Okay. All right. And there we go. Now I'm going to get the larger ones, and I think I can just do these by hand. I'm going to put one here, and a bigger one like here, and then I'm gonna put another bigger one like down here at the bottom. And that is our beautiful card. I think this is adorable. I hope you guys really enjoy it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. I will also post the links for all of these items on my Stampin' Up website if you feel like you would like to purchase these to make this beautiful card. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.